everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing very well today. So today's video I am super excited about. I'm really excited to do because I am going to be ranking my cream blushes. I did actually do 3 ranking videos already on my channel. The first one was ranking my Natasha Denona eyeshadow palettes, and then the one after that I did rank some of my recent purchases throughout the year 2021, so be sure to check that one out. It's pretty long, but I do think it's worth it. And then I also recently ranked my bronzers. So I do recommend that you check out those videos. I would love for you to watch them and just, stay up to date with my ranking videos. I absolutely love cream blushes. Cream blush has definitely been very trendy throughout the year of 2021. I'm sure you guys know this. And I have definitely purchased quite a few cream blushes. I want to say that I have 24 blushes to rank today. So before this video gets super long, let's go ahead and just get started. All right, so ranking in at number 24, I do have to have some disclaimers because I feel like I have to say it. I really like a lot of my cream blushes. I am most likely going to be decluttering some, but some of them I probably will obviously keep if I really love them, but the ones that are like on the very end of the spectrum, I could definitely see myself decluttering. So we will see, but I do really like a lot of them, and I genuinely think that there are so many really good cream blush formulas out there. So ranking in at number 24 is a liquid blush that's actually from Ulta Beauty. So it's the Ulta Beauty in-house line. This is just one of their Stay Cheeky liquid blushes. I do have the shade Dusty Pink. The shade reminds me a lot of the NARS Orgasm liquid blush that I actually do own, and that will be featured later on in this video. This is a nice formula. It's just something I don't reach for very much. I don't know what it is about this product, but I never reach for it. I think I've used it only like a handful of times, which is so sad. But I just have so many others in my collection that I much prefer. It could be the shade of this. It is fairly pink on the skin, and bright pink blush isn't usually my vibe. I usually like something a little bit more nude, a little bit more rosy, and also a little bit more like peachy coral. So that could be the reason as well, but it's just not my favorite formula. And it's not my favorite shade either. So that's ranking in at number 24. Now ranking in at number 23, I do have this baby here from Rare Beauty. This is the Rare Beauty liquid blush, and it's actually in the shade Bliss. So this is part of the matte formulation. I just have a mini that was in the set from Holiday. So I don't know what it is about this one specifically. I don't know if it's the matte formulation or if it's just because it's a mini, that this is very hard to blend out. It's not very pigmented. I will put some and dot it on my cheeks, and it just it's almost like it's stuck on my face, which it's so frustrating and so annoying. I feel like it never really adheres well to the skin. It never really lets me blend it out very easily. I feel like it's just not a very forgiving product, which is very frustrating because I actually have 2 other Rare Beauty blushes that I really enjoy. So it's a shame about this one, and I really love this shade too, Bliss. It's just a really nice peachy everyday color. So that's a little bit upsetting, but I'm just glad that at least I have a mini, and now I know that I don't really like at least this shade. Maybe another color in the matte formula I will like, but this is actually ranking at number 23. Then ranking in at number 22, I actually do have a Mary Kay cream blush. This is the Mary Kay cream blush duo stick. I do have the shade Mauve and Shimmer. This one is obviously from Mary Kay. I did purchase it from my sister. This is a nice blush formula, but I will say Mary Kay is just not a favorite brand of mine. I think that they do have some really great stellar products, but I don't always think that they're worth the price, and that's something that I obviously have to consider. I forgot to mention it, but I do have different ranking categories as to how I rank my products. One of them is the shade, the other is blendability, the other is ease of use, The other is uniqueness. There's also desire to use, and also is it worth the price, and then there's a total. And I rank between 1 to 5, and so the highest ranking product would be like 30, and then of course the lowest would be, I guess, 5, I guess, if you're thinking of it that way. Okay, so the lowest I guess would be like a 6, I guess, because it is different. It's 6 different categories. But anyways, this is just not a brand that I love that much, but this formula is really, really nice. I really like how this blush is a little bit more versatile because it's a matte blush on one side, but it's a shimmery blush on the other. So it's nice because you can kind of use the shimmer side as like a blush topper. You could use it as a highlight if you wanted to. So I think the formula is really nice. The shade is really nice. It's just overall, it's not something I'm really reaching for very much. So that one is ranking in at number 22. So now ranking in at number 21, I do have the e.l.f. Putty Blush, and I do have the shade Tahiti. And this, I have to say, I'm just not super in love with the formula of this one. I feel like it's not very forgiving. It's very, very drying. The shade is beautiful. It's absolutely stunning. And I actually really enjoy the putty bronzers from e.l.f. that are, you know, their most recent release, I believe. But for some reason, the putty blushes, I just really couldn't get on with. I think it's because they're very almost like whipped feeling and moussey feeling that it's not the most forgiving, and it's not the most like blendable cream blush that's out there. So that's kind of my take on that one. So then we have ranking in at number 20. I do have one of the MAC Glow Play blushes. This is in the shade Rosie Does It, and this is one that I did pick up from TJ Maxx, and I have to say this formula is so unique and so different. It's definitely very like putty feeling, almost like clay or something, and it's definitely a cream product, but whenever you blend it into the skin, it does dry down as like a powder. So it's almost like it's like a cream to powder finish. It is really nice. The only reason that this one is ranking lower is because of the shade. The shade is obviously very out there. It's a little bit deep for me, but that doesn't stop me from using it. But of course, it's not as easy to use because I have to go in a little bit light-handed with this one. But I really do like this formula, and I think that it also lasts pretty well throughout the day as well. Then I do have one from Physicians Formula that's ranking in at number 19. So this is from Physicians Formula. It's their Natural Defense Multicolor Stick. Something really neat about this one is it does have SPF 20 in this blush, which is kind of cool. I do have the shade Soft Pink. This was a Jessica Braun recommendation. Like obviously she has no idea who I am, but I thoroughly enjoy her reviews. I think she does a really great job at giving thorough reviews. She spends a lot of time really trying to focus in on products, and she doesn't reel in too many purchases at once, which I like because her reviews tend to be a little bit more like detailed and specific and thorough, which I like. So anyways, she really likes this one. I don't hate it. However, it is a pretty light shade. It doesn't show up as much as I would like it to. And also it does have a scent, and the scent can be a little bit nauseating because it is pretty overpowering, and I did notice I could smell it a little bit throughout the day, so that's kind of annoying. But it's not enough for me to like want to declutter it just yet. But if I don't reach for it in the future, I most likely will declutter this one. But this one is ranking in at number 19. It's just not a favorite by any means. All right, so ranking in at number 18, I do have this little, what is this? Multi-stick in the shade Dreamer from Ilia. I did get this in a Sephora favorites kit during the spring Sephora VIB sale. Here is what this one looks like. It is a really nice shade. I really enjoy the shade. The formula of this one is very nice. However, Ilia is a pretty expensive brand. They're a brand that is pretty overpriced in my opinion. This is the only, no, that's a lie. There's a few products that I have from the brand, and they're pretty much all minis, but I think this performs well. I think it's a really good cream blush. It's just like I said, it's a little expensive. There's going to be other cream blushes that I mentioned throughout this video that are much more affordable and I think are just as good as this, if not better, and they're just more affordable. So that's the only reason for that one. Ranking in at number 17, I do have this liquid blush from NARS. So this may look familiar to you if you were following my Partners in Cream project earlier this year. I did try to use this 10 times. I was able to do that, obviously, but this is my NARS liquid blush in the shade Orgasm. Such a nice formula, and the shade is really beautiful as well. This is a really nice liquid blush formula, and honestly, I thought $30 was kind of steep for this, but you get so much product in here, and all I do is really just pump some on the back of my hand and then just apply it with like a stippling brush or what have you, and it lasts pretty well throughout the day. The only reason that this one is ranking in at number 17 is because it's a shade that I don't wear often. Like I said, I do prefer more like nudie, rosy toned blushes, and this one is definitely a lot more pink. So I definitely have to keep in mind like what type of eyeshadow looks I'm wearing and things like that with this one. I prefer blushes that complement a lot of different eyeshadow looks and lip colors, things like that. And this one is just a little bright for something that I'm regularly reaching for. All right, another liquid blush. This one is ranking in at number 16. This is the Ofra liquid blush in the shade Loyal. So this one is a really nice formula. It's a nice shade as well. It's a nice kind of like peachy pink color, perfect for every day. This is kind of similar to the e.l.f. Putty blush. This was way better though, in my opinion, but the similarity is that it kind of feels a little bit moussey, a little bit thicker, but this one does blend out nicely, and it doesn't stay in one spot like the Rare Beauty one does that I mentioned earlier, which is nice. This, for some reason though, I don't reach for it very much, but I do like it. I think the formula is nice. I also, like I said, really enjoy the shade, but it's just not what I'm reaching for, and I do think Ofra is overpriced. I think they have great quality products. I really do, but I feel like Ofra is only approachable because so many people have discount codes with them for that 20% off, which is a good discount code, but I think they should just price things like within like the $20–30 range, and that's it. And they tend to go a little bit higher than that, and I don't think their quality is there, but they do have really great products. So that's kind of the only reason for that one. Now we have another MAC blush. This is ranking in at number 15. This is again one of those MAC Glow Play blushes, but it's in the shade So Natural, and this is definitely a, just like it says, a natural color. It's kind of like a rosy toned, like beigey color. This is very natural. It hardly shows up on my skin, if I'm being honest, but I do like it, especially whenever maybe I have like a really statement eye on. I have maybe a smoky eye or like a bronze smoky eye or something, and I don't want too much blush on. I feel like this is a really great option for that. Because it is so subtle on. I do enjoy the formula. Like I said, I enjoy the shade a lot, but it is not as pigmented as the Rosy Does It one that I mentioned earlier, but still, I do like this one, and it's a little bit more buildable because it isn't so bright. Ranking in at number 14, I do have this one that I purchased from YesStyle. This is the Juicy Pang blusher, and I want to say I have the shade Blueberry, which is this really nice like lilac-y lavender colored blush. And that is exactly why it is ranking in at number 14, because it is just not an everyday color. It's not an everyday blush for me. The formula is really nice. It's very forgiving. It's probably similar to the NARS liquid blush. These are so much more affordable, by the way, and they have so many cute shades. But because of this color, it's just not one that I'm reaching for all the time, but I do enjoy the formula. So if you are looking for a really great, affordable liquid blush, I do recommend these, but maybe picking up one of the shades that are a little bit more everyday. All right, ranking in at number 13, I have this one from Rare Beauty. This was one of the other blushes that I mentioned earlier that I do enjoy from Rare Beauty. This is one of their Stay Vulnerable like melting blushes, and it's in the shade Nearly Neutral. I absolutely love the shade. I think the shade is so nice and so cute. The packaging, of course. I mean, what is not to love about this adorable pink like pebble stone type thing? This is good. I will say though, the formula is very subtle, and it's not super pigmented. I think the name Melting Blush is a very great description of this blush. a very great name for this blush, because as soon as you put your finger to it or your brush to it and you apply it to your skin, you'll notice just how subtle it actually looks. You'll notice how well it just melts into the skin and how easily it melts into the skin, which could be a good thing, but it's also kind of a bad thing in my opinion, because it's very subtle. It's not super pigmented. You guys know how much I love blush and how I really appreciate pigmented blushes. So I do like this one for that everyday, maybe no makeup look, but you know, it's definitely not an absolute favorite. Next up, ranking in at number 12, I do have this liquid blush from Clove & Hallow. I discovered Clove & Hallow through Sarah Rose here on YouTube. She had received some PR from them, and one of the PR products was the Hydra Tint blushes, and she really loved these Hydra Tint blushes. Anyways, I have the shade Georgia. This is a nice formula. It kind of looks like a nail polish, and the shade is like a really nice, like kind of like sunburnt kind of look. But I like it. I think the formula is nice. I do think that this was pretty affordable too, because the blush, I want to say, runs you for like $19, but I was actually able to get $5 off by signing up for their emails. So I only paid like $14 for this blush, and you get a lot of product in here. So I also really love the shades that they offer. So I think this is a really great formula, and it's great if you want to support just kind of like a smaller brand. I do recommend this one. All right, ranking in at number 11, I have my last Rare Beauty blush. This is another one of her liquid blushes, but in the dewy formulation, and this is the shade Joy, which I absolutely love. I just love this shade. It's such a nice, beautiful, like peachy coral look. It's really perfect for like spring and summer. So this formula is so much better than the matte formula. I will say though, this doesn't feel dewy. It just feels maybe like it's more of like a satin finish, but I much prefer this over the matte one that I mentioned like basically at the beginning of this video. However, this one is ranking in at number 11. It would probably be higher, but the reason that it's ranking at 11 is because it is so pigmented. Like, you need the smallest amount. I seriously just dot like 2 or 3 dots on my cheeks, and that's enough. I will say, because of how pigmented these are and because of how quickly they dry down onto your skin, they last so well throughout the day. It's amazing. I mean, I have worn this and worn a mask all day, and I took it off and my blush was still there. So it's truly amazing for things like that. If you're looking for a cream blush that's going to last throughout the day, last on your skin, and even if you have oily skin, don't be afraid of the dewy name. At least in my opinion, I don't think it's too dewy, because it doesn't leave my skin looking glowy or luminous. But I really enjoy this one a lot, and I would love to pick up other shades. All right, ranking in at number 10, we are almost there. I do have my Flower Beauty Blush Balm in the shade Cinnamon. I know you guys are probably thinking, Sabrina, what? That's like your favorite blush. What are you talking about? So, I don't know if you guys remember, but I kind of came on my channel and talked about how I accidentally got rid of my Flower Beauty Blush Balm in Cinnamon. So this is my newer one. And what basically, long story short, was I sold one of my other blush balms in a different shade on my Poshmark, and I sent my Cinnamon shade on accident, and I was so devastated. I was honestly so close to finishing that one because it had been in like a project pan last year, and I immediately wanted to repurchase this, so I did. Well, then I started watching a couple of like Jessica Braun's videos, and she talked about how she felt like these changed. She had purchased one like years ago when they first came out. She fell in love with them. She constantly recommended them on her channel. She repurchased that same shade because she actually finished one all the way through. And then she talked about how she doesn't like it very much anymore, that it's almost like it's too water-based, that it doesn't really leave too much pigment on your skin, and it kind of just fades away. And I was like, what is she talking about? Like, I don't believe her, you know, whatever. And then I got rid of mine, and then I had to repurchase it, and now it's just not the same. I'm still ranking it at number 10 though, because I just love the shade Cinnamon so much that I will make it work for me. It's just not as buildable, it's not as pigmented, it's not as long lasting as it used to be. So I have no idea. I'm honestly super disappointed that they even changed the formula. That's so annoying. They had such a perfect perfect formula, like so perfect. So that's why this is at number 10 and not like at number 1. But anyways, all right, now moving on to number 9. I do have this one from Bare Minerals. It's one of their Bounce and Blur blushes in the shade Blurred Buff. This is such a stunning formula, such a stunning shade. I love this for so many different eye looks, and this is just so beautiful. So this is kind of similar to the MAC Glow Play blush, where it feels kind of like a putty, like a cream, but then as soon as you apply it to your skin, it definitely just kind of turns to like a satin. It dries down, it turns matte. And again, it lasts very well throughout the day. So I really enjoy this formula. Blurred Buff is my favorite. I don't own any of the other shades. I do know that you can find these at TJ Maxx. So if you're at all curious, I recommend them on a deal. But this one is really good. All right, ranking in at number 8, I do have one of the Milani Cheek Kiss liquid blushes. And I do have the shade Nude Flush. So the reason I picked this one up was because it looked similar to my Flower Beauty Blush Balm in Cinnamon, and I was like, you know what, let me try this one out. It looks like a similar shade. If this one works better, then I mean, that would be amazing, because the Flower Beauty one has been giving me those issues. But it's kind of similar thing. It's very water-based. There's not a lot of pigment to it. Again, I can make it work, but it's not super pigmented. It does give you that dewy look, and so does the Flower Beauty one. I forgot to mention that. They are both very dewy, which I like. I like when your cheeks look fresh and glowy and healthy. That's partly why I go towards cream blushes at times. So this is good, and just like the Flower Beauty one, I think this is a really great option at the drugstore if you're looking for a maybe Glossier Cloud Paint dupe, or if you're looking for just a liquid blush at a more affordable price. I think it's a nice option. Ranking in at number 7, I am so ready to use this again. I haven't used it in a while. It's my Tower 28 cream blush in the shade Magic Hour. This is a really nice cream formula. I think it's so good. I absolutely love the shade Magic Hour. This is a really good formula. I love how well it lasts throughout the day on your skin. I also love, again, that it leaves you feeling, or it leaves your skin looking very glowy and dewy and luminous. I'm all about that. And this is the only shade that I have. I think I'm good with this shade, honestly, but I haven't used it since probably the beginning of the year, and I really need to pull this one out again because it's such a stunning formula. Ranking in at number 6, I do have this beautiful, beautiful cream blush from Winky Lux. This is one of their, what is it? Cheeky Rose blushes, and I did pick up the shade Crown. This is absolutely beautiful. If you guys can see, that beautiful rose embossment is just absolutely stunning. Again, the shade Crown is just so beautiful. Honestly, I would think that because of the packaging, this product would suck, but honestly, it is so good. I don't know how they were able to manage to do both, because not only is the formula amazing, is the shade beautiful, but the floral shape, the rose shape, stays the same. I mean, I've used this many times, and it's never, I mean, it's never broke off like one of the petals. It has completely stayed secure, even when dipping my brush into this multiple times. So I am super impressed by the formula, the color, but also just how well this was made and how beautiful it looks in the packaging here. It's just so cute. So I love this one. It is a little pricey. They're about $20, but I do think it's worth it for something that maybe you can display on your vanity, but also because it is a nice formula. Ranking it at number 5, this product has kind of stolen my heart. I love it so much. I think it's so good. This is the Melt Cosmetics Cream Blush Light, and I did pick up the shade Polished. This is such an amazing cream blush formula. The shade Polished is absolutely amazing. I took this with me whenever we went out of state to see family back in June, and I wanted to reach for this every day. I loved it. I thought it was absolutely amazing, and I love that it's also like a shimmery blush, because it has like a shimmery finish, a more like luminous finish, but it doesn't have any glitters or actual shimmer in it, which I appreciate. These were like sold out during the spring Sephora VIB sale, and I'm so glad that they went in stock right before the sale ended. I would love to pick up another one of these because I enjoy the formula so much. I will say it is expensive. Melt is a high-end brand, which is why it's not ranking in at number 1, but I think the formula is so worth it. If you can get it on a sale, highly, highly recommend. Now, this is a product that has quickly stolen my heart, and this is from Tarte. I actually filmed a Get Ready With Me. It's not up yet. I'm not sure when it will be up, but I did use this blush in that video. This is from Tarte again. It's the Breezy Cream Blush in the shade Peach Sunset. I did get this in a Sephora favorite set that recently came out. Here's what the shade looks like. I'm trying not to blind you guys with the mirror, but the shade is so nice and so cute. It's like this peachy color, and I absolutely love that in that set we got a mini, but we got a mini that actually exists. Like, it's not a deluxe size sample. Like, this is a mini that you can purchase from Sephora, I think for like $14 or something. So I think it's a really great value. I was already in love with the cream bronzer that I got in another Sephora favorite set that's like a mini, so I had a feeling I would like this one, and I definitely do. I think it's so good. So I thoroughly enjoy this one, and I would recommend grabbing it if you want, because again, this mini is a little bit more affordable at $15 or $14, and the shade is nice too. All right, ranking in at number 3. So we are getting there. We are almost done. This is a long one, but this again has quickly stolen my heart. I am so impressed with this formula. I'm impressed with the price, everything. This is from the brand Half Caked. It's actually in my current Shop My Stash. This is one of the cheek and lip tints. I mainly just use it as a cream blush. It's one of their candy paint cream blushes, and I do have the shade Disco Lemonade, and this is what it looks like. It's definitely pretty intense, but I promise you it blends out beautifully. These blushes run you between $6 to $8. I mean, if you can get these on sale, which I want to say I was able to, because I think I purchased them around like it was around some type of holiday. It might have been around like Memorial Day or something. But not only is the packaging super cute because it's this really nice heart packaging, but it is a great formula. And they are so inexpensive. I'm telling you, $6 to $8. I also picked up the cream bronzer, which I'm also loving. And I do plan on ranking my cream bronzers as well, because those have also grown within my collection. But this is just amazing. And I did pick these up because Juicy Jasmine here on YouTube, she's really been enjoying these. And she has been kind of diving more into some indie brands, some more like smaller brands. And she recommended these from Half Caked. So I'm definitely glad that I picked one up, and I think the formula is so good, and the packaging is adorable for the price. Honestly, you cannot beat it. All right, so ranking it at number 2. This honestly could be number 1. Like, this could be number 1. I feel like my number 1, while it's good, I mean, between the Half Caked one and the Melt one, I mean, all of those kind of shifted. That's what I wanted to say too. My number 1 is not like my favorite blush in my collection. Like, my number 1 is considering all of the categories in one. It's considering shade, blendability, how much do I want to use it, how much do I reach for it, is it worth the price, things like that. So I'm considering that. So like the Melt one could have been number 1, but because of the price, it maybe went up a little bit. The Half Caked one, that honestly could be number 1. I don't know why. But anyways, this could be number 1 because there's literally nothing standing in the way of this, except I guess one thing. But this is the AOA Studio. So again, you can purchase this from Shop Miss A online. There's a Shop Miss A at some, I guess in some places, at a mall, but this is their cream sheer blush, and it's, or their Hush cream sheer blush, and I have the shade Cozy. This is $1. This is $1, and oh my gosh, it performs so well. It performs so well. I'm honestly, like, I'm shocked. Like, how in the world is this $1? I don't get it. What is this? What is this mystery? What is the science behind this? I don't understand. We are getting ripped off here, like from other brands, not here. This is $1 and it performs so well. The shade Cozy is absolutely beautiful. The moment I used this, I was like, what the heck? Like, this is actually amazing. Whenever I got it in my, you know, in the mail, I obviously ordered it. It took that's the con with this, with Shop Miss A, with this blush, whatever. it takes a long time to get those packages, which is unfortunate. But I mean, I wasn't in any rush. But the moment I got this in the mail, I was like, I'm not expecting much. It was $1. It's a risk I'll take. And it ended up being amazing. Like, I'm so shocked at how good this actually is. So this is ranked at number 2. The shade is great. They have actually quite a bit of shades on their website that you can choose from. The price is like beautiful. You can't beat it. So this is amazing. All right, now for my number one, okay? So again, it could have been the Melt. It could have been the Shot Massé. It could have been the half-caked one. This is number 1, most likely because the price is right, the color is beautiful, it's very buildable, it's long wearing, and they have other shades that are also very nice. It's easy to use. I do want to gravitate towards it pretty regularly because the formula is so good. And this is the Milani Cheek Kiss Cream Blush, and this is in the shade 120 Coral Crush. This is a recent addition to my collection. I haven't had it, but probably like a month or so, but this is so good. It is balmy. It's very similar, in my opinion, to the Tower 28 cream blushes, but of course these are very affordable. The shade Coral Crush is so beautiful for spring and summer. I've really been enjoying using this for the summer. I need to actually pull it out again in one of my last Shop My Stash rotations for the summer because this shade is stunning. But I am so impressed with this because, again, it is affordable because it's Milani. The formula is so nice. I mean, like, where is it? I mean, like, e.l.f. couldn't even nail it. Like, e.l.f. could not even nail it as good as Milani did. You know what I mean? This putty blush is like, no. Like, just get this one. Just get the, where is it? Just get the Shot Massé one. Just get the half-caked one, or get this Milani one. Do you know what I mean? Honestly, you get all of them and you'll be so pleased and so impressed and you won't be disappointed. I will say the packaging of this is pretty cheap. I feel like it could break over time with just like opening and closing the lid. It kind of reminds me of like Essence packaging, which is so annoying, and I hope that does not happen because this was more expensive than the Essence one, and because this is a cream, I would see that ruining the product completely. But anyways, regardless, all of that aside, this shade is beautiful, the formula is beautiful, and it is a little bit dewy on the skin, but once I set my skin with powder, I don't notice it too dewy anymore. But again, it's so long lasting. So anyways, those are all of my cream blushes. It was 24 of them. I have really gone cream blush crazy. I already really loved cream blushes, and then with 2021 kind of being the year of cream blush, it kind of just confirmed my love for cream blush, and I just went all out once again, as I always do. But I really hope that you enjoyed. Please let me know what your favorite cream blushes are, especially if I have yet to try them. I would love to try out some newer formulas, although I probably don't need any more. I may declutter some of these, just depending if I really don't see myself using them because they're just not easy to use. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I would love for you to like this video if you did enjoy it, and also I would love for you to subscribe. It would mean so much to me for you to be a part of my YouTube family here, and I look forward to interacting with you guys in the comments, and I will go ahead and see you in my next video. Bye!